This podcast is brought to you by Convo Cloth, the official clothing apparel of the NBC podcast. For the latest apparel, please go to www.nothingButConvos.com. Now, let's get into the latest episode of the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. What's good, people?
Nothing like it.
It's the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. This is episode 12, The Mandalorian, season 2. And in this episode, I have a special guest, Nick Rossi, my boy, my brother. Yeah. So in this episode, we break down the first season of The Mandalorian, and we break down what's going to happen in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And this is a disclaimer. Me and Nick are not experts of Star Wars. So sit back, relax, and let's get it. Yeah. Episode 12, The Mandalorian, Season 2, with my guy, Nick Rossi. What's up, Nick?
What's up, Sam? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, The Mandalorian, when it came out last year, it was the hype of everything. It was something fresh. It was something new that no one ever seen before. It was even new from even the Star Wars series.
Yep.
And when we seen it, we like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Yes, it's a little bit short within, the length of each episode. But if you break it down, it's basically like a whole movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So it was created by John Favreau. I guess that's his name.
I think it's Favreau. But
Favreau. All right, I'm close. I know I'm going to mess up people's names and everything else, but, that's what I got Nick here for.
For some of them.
Some of them. So we are not experts. This is a disclaimer. We are not experts.
Not even close.
Of Star Wars. We're fans, newly fans from, a couple years ago or maybe even more.
The originals, but all this new Clone Wars stuff. And The Mandalorian, that's new to us. So we're learning.
We're learning. We YouTubing it. We looking on, the internet. We getting all, the information that we need to, talk about what's in store in The Mandalorian. So The Mandalorian is a Disney Plus series. We just said it was created by
Jon Favreau.
There you go. You've seen him probably all around the world. And
directed the Iron Man,
first
Iron Man movie.
Yep, he does his thing. So he created it. He wrote, some of the episodes. And also, he has a writer with him, Dave Filoni. Yes, okay. Dave Filoni. And so, Dave Filoni, he directed the 5th episode of The Mandalorian when it came out, the first season. And so, Dave Filoni, he didn't create, but he was the director of Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay.
So, this is how everything is tying together. And so The Mandalorian season 1, so each episode basically they had a new director. So they had someone come in with new views that didn't direct the past episode.
I thought it worked really well together. You wouldn't even notice that it was a different director.
You wouldn't even notice.
They did it really well.
Very well. And did you see I think it was like the after credits or whatever on Disney Plus? And they broke down each episode and each director.
No, I missed it. I want to watch that.
Yo, you got to go back and watch that. It's very good. The
last episode is another name I'm going to butcher, Takiti Wada or whatever. He's the guy who did the third Thor.
Yes.
And I like him. And that episode was a good one. So.
Yeah. It started November 12th, 2019, and it ended December 27th, 2019. It was 8 episodes, and the episodes ran from 31 minutes to 46 minutes. So this time frame that The Mandalorian is set in is 5 to 6 years after the events of The Return of the Jedi, and the budget was $100 million budget. So what is a Mandalorian? So Mandalorians are fictional people associated with the planet Mandalore and Star Wars franchise created by George Lucas. Mandalorians were seen as feared warriors that became mercenaries and bounty hunters. In The Mandalorian, they were known to have ridden the mythosaurs, a beast, a legend which remembered through use of image of its skull. Also, Mandalorians are known for their steel, the Mandalorian steel, the Beskar. And this steel is one of the versatile steel in...
It's a universe?
Yeah, universe. You can say universe. And it's lightsaber resistant, and it's so unique to Mandalore. And on this Mandalore planet, the steel is in one of their moons. They have mining and everything else. The Mandalore planet was one of the planets that you would want to go to for the steel.
I don't think all the Mandalorians are from Mandalore.
No, they're not.
Because I know the main
character.
Guy, he wasn't. He says, you don't have to be there to be a Mandalorian. It's like a religion or the way. So you just basically, you kind of get brought up with them and they just teach you their way to go about it.
And so the Mandalorians was a clan-based ethnic group that comprised of members of multiple species, all bound by common culture, creed, and code. They originated on the planet Mandalore in the galaxy Outer Rim territories and had a particular important role in the galactic history and legendary warriors against the Jedi. So their main thing was they didn't like the Jedi. They were bounty hunters. Mm-hmm. And so if the Sith or Darth Vader wanted to get a bounty and say, oh, I want you to get this person, that was their job. Yep. So they went out and said, look, we're going to get them, and here you go. That's how they got paid. The main characters that are on The Mandalorian, the main character is Din Djarin.
That sounded good to me. That's what I would say.
His real name is Pedro Pascal. He's a Mandalorian bounty hunter, and he operated, like I just said, in the Outer Rim territories in the years following the fall of the Empire. As a child, what was it? Drones that came?
Yes. He doesn't like droids.
Yeah, he doesn't like droids. So drones came to his planet, and I forgot what his planet was called. So they came to his planet, and they killed everyone from his planet, and except him because he was hiding.
Yeah, his parents put him in like almost looked like a sewer, but it wasn't a sewer, and they hid him in there.
It was an army of battle droids during the Clone Wars, which killed his parents, and he later was taken in by the Mandalorians. These Mandalorians, they raised him, they trained him, and he became a highly skilled warrior. Throughout the later times, he became a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild, and he collected numerous bounties, and he traveled across the galaxy. And within The Mandalorian, the first season, which was awesome, you can just, the fight scenes was just nuts. Yeah. It was just something that you never seen before.
You see him grow too throughout it, and he gets the armor, the steel that we talked about earlier. You just see his whole armor get all nicer, shiny.
With the Mandalorians, once they are finished the bounty, they get money or
they'll get paid somehow.
Somehow they'll get paid. So he would go and he would, I guess, pay the armor. He would pay her, and then she would break down and give him more armor.
Mm-hmm. I think it was actually when not his first bounty, but when he gets, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, the child, that bounty, they would paid him with the Beskar.
Yeah.
Beskar metal. That's how he gets most of his armor.
Yeah.
But he does get it otherwise by paying the armor to make it for him.
Yeah. When he was a child, he got rescued by the Death Watch Mandalorians. That's a whole separate Mandalorian clan that they go out and they get busy. Like, they help everybody. They go out and get busy. They didn't
say too much about who actually rescued him in the show. You just see him.
You just see him. The main person in that Death Watch, who started the Death Watch, I think it was Terra Vizsla. I think that was the main person that created that Death Watch. I'm not an expert. This is what I seen on YouTube. Yep. Maybe they're wrong.
Teaching me some things right now.
I'm just talking about what I seen and what I looked up. One of his missions was a bounty to get a 50-year-old Jedi / Yoda species. So they never said what it was. They just said, oh, you're getting a 50-year-old
Yep.
living thing or person. That he thought it was a person. He ain't think when he opened the thing, he said, oh, what is this?
They said that's a baby. He's supposed to be 50.
Yeah. He really didn't know it was a baby Yoda. He still don't know what it is.
No, he doesn't really know Jedi at all, because you think about it, the Jedi get wiped out pretty much 20 years prior to the events of this.
Yeah.
Because then you have Luke come in, but really he's the only Jedi going on at that time. So the Jedi are wiped out.
It's just
way
Luke
before him.
Yeah. At this time, it's just Luke. It's other Jedi that ran and went to other
but they're not
planets.
known like they
yeah,
were.
They're not known. So basically, like, Nick said, it's basically one Jedi. And the one Jedi is Luke at this time. That's basically known through all the planets and known by the Empire. The next main character is the child. And people refer the child as Baby Yoda. He's a member of an unnamed species as the powerful Jedi Master Yoda, and he has similar Force abilities. The child is a toddler at the age of 50, and Yoda died when he was like 900 years old. Yep. So yes, this is a baby.
Yeah, they age very slowly.
And so a bounty was offered for the return of the client, which was Baby Yoda, and the Mandalorian, I guess in his mind, was like, what are they going to do with this?
I think him seeing it was a child, and kind of how he was rescued.
Yeah,
he wasn't, and plus it was the Empire putting that, which he already doesn't like.
Yeah,
so he kind of was.
He was already suspicious, like what they want me to do, and also when he went there, it was droid. Wasn't it a droid?
Well, it was the stormtroopers, and that's what he saw. And he said, "Wait a minute, why is the Empire doing this? Because he doesn't like them."
Yeah.
So, but he's a bounty hunter. He takes a job, he gets paid, but he wasn't feeling this one. We'll say.
Yeah. The next main character is Grief Karja, and that's Carl Weathers. He's an ex-leader of a bounty hunter. Well, he is the leader of the bounty hunter guild who hires the Mandalorian to track down valuable assets because he gets paid when the Mandalorian brings back the bounty.
He basically, the bounty hunters go to him for the job.
Yeah.
He's like the middleman between whoever's hiring the bounty hunters and the bounty hunters. He gives them the job, so this is what you got to do, and then he gives it to whoever hired the bounty hunter.
Yeah. And he's getting paid.
Yeah.
He's getting seriously paid.
Yeah, well, because you think every bounty hunter who takes a job, he's getting a hand in that.
And he's cool with everybody. So he's cool with the Empire. He's cool with everyone in this galaxy because they come to him and say, yo, we need someone to get this person.
He doesn't really choose sides. It's whoever is paying.
The next main character is Cara Dune. Her real name is Gina Carano.
Yeah.
And she's a former rebel shock trooper turned mercenary for the now destroyed planet of Alderaan.
Alderaan, yep.
Who fought in the galactic civil war for the Rebel Alliance. And she's an MMA fighter.
Yes.
So most of her scenes is just her getting down. It ain't no stunt devil. She's getting with it. And so the next person ties in the whole show because this person knows everything that's going on. She's been through it. I don't know how old she is because they said some Mandalorians are not human.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you don't know how old most of these people are because they don't never take off their helmet. And that's one thing about this Mandalorian. He never takes off his helmet because that's the way of the Death Watch people where he was raised by.
Okay.
Well, the Death Watch Mandalorians where he was raised by, he can't take his helmet off.
Not to another living species.
Yes.
But they do show you in the show, he does take it off the one time because it's in front of a droid.
Yeah.
Make sure they say that.
This person that ties in the show is the armorer, what we were just talking about. And that's played by Emily Swallow. And this armorer knows everything. She says, this is the way. This is what you have to be a Mandalorian. This is how you are supposed to carry yourself as a Mandalorian. And also she's making these armor. I guess it's like an armor suit. Like she's putting on each armor.
But she also makes some weapons.
Was
that little like missile thing?
Yeah, that little missile.
She makes that.
She makes that, and then she made the pack, right? Or was that pack all on another Mandalorian?
I wasn't
but she
sure,
did make it.
Yeah, and she gives him the jetpack.
Yeah, she gave him the jetpack.
But because I just rewatched it, it's kind of funny because she does know a lot, but she doesn't give him all the information.
No, she don't
She's
give
like,
him all the information.
You know, that's a Jedi. You got to return him to your people. And he'll ask, well, how? Well, that's for you. Like, she just puts it up to you. That's for you to figure out. It's like, well, thanks.
And so one scene with the armorer, I think, was the best scene in The Mandalorian.
Talking about near the end of the season?
Near the end of the season, when they came to kill her.
Yeah, when they're in the tunnels.
And when they're in the tunnels, the stormtrooper came to kill her because on Mandalore, it was a great purge of all the Mandalorians from the Empire, right?
Yeah, they were in hiding, and I don't actually know exactly why.
And I think that's what's going to come out in this new season on the why. Why was it the Great Purge? Why are they in hiding? So most of these Mandalorians are hiding.
Yeah, I think he's really one of the only ones that's kind of out and about.
Yeah.
Because they say in the one episode near the end when you see a lot of the other Mandalorians kind of got wiped out by the Empire, it's because they came out of hiding to help him.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we showed ourselves, we knew what could happen.
Yeah.
But I don't, and I may have missed it, maybe Sam knows, but I don't know exactly what they did. And like you said, maybe it will be shown this next season.
Well, what I seen on YouTube, like how they broke it down, it's one girl on there. Her name is Star Wars Meg, and she breaks a lot of stuff down. Like, she knows everything. And so I don't think this was her. It was someone else where they were talking about the reason why the Empire, and this is just speculation on what they think, was because they wanted the armor on Mandalore for their ships and their armor. Because I think what happened at that time, what happened with Darth Vader, where he got sliced up because of, I guess they had some type of metal that wasn't strong enough for the lightsaber.
Lightsabers, yeah.
So
makes sense.
They're saying that if he had armor like this, that he would be unstoppable. And I think that was one of the reasons or one of the theories of the Great Purge. But yeah, he's a Mandalorian. He's out and about. Ain't nobody messing with him. And I don't know, is it because he was in the bounty guild?
Yeah,
I think
they
so.
Don't exactly say. Or it could just be because he operates, in the outer.
Oh yeah, he's not in it. Yeah, he's not going to planets where they're really there.
Yeah. So I guess that's why. But
Yeah.
they don't. There's questions that they don't really answer, or we just may not know.
Yeah.
Again, me and Sam are not experts.
We're not experts. We're just fans. The next character I think that will have a major role in season 2 will be Moff Gideon.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah. He's a former officer of the Imperial Security Bureau, a galactic empire secret police who life changed after the Rebel Alliance destroyed the second Death Star. So basically, he's the new Darth Vader because he's taken over the whole, I guess, empire right now.
Yeah.
Where he's at, because we don't know who might be in the galaxy somewhere else.
And as far as I know, even though, and then it would jump a little bit, he has the black saber. I don't think he has. No, he's not a Sith, right?
No, he's not
so.
Force sensitive.
Yeah,
what they say, they don't know.
Yeah.
Until this
I
season.
guess we'll see.
Yeah, they don't know yet until this season because he never did he get into a fight? Yeah, he did get into a fight, right? But it wasn't like a fight. It was like a gunfight where he tried to
was in the
kill.
back, and then he was in his I believe it was a TIE fighter. He was
Yeah, he wasn't a TIE fighter.
and that's all you really see of him fighting. So you don't actually see him fight anyone one-on-one, basically.
No, so we don't know what type of fighting skills he has, what type of weaponry skills he has. We don't know. All we know is he has the dark saber. And so that's the leader. That's what everyone is taking orders from. They're taking orders from him because he's the leader. He's the main man. And
that
so
we know of. Like you said,
that we know of.
Someone could be his boss.
Yeah,
still.
we don't know.
You think Vader is the boss, but really it was the Emperor.
It was the Emperor.
So we don't know.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
And we just know from the last movie, he was never dead.
Yeah.
He might made someone or a clone just like he did with Rey to say, hey, you got to, go to this guy. So we don't know who's in charge right now. We just know he's just the leader of the stormtroopers in the Empire that's on the ground, but we don't know who's on top of him.
Exactly.
So the thoughts of the first season. I think that first season was just crazy, man. It was just something fresh that you never seen. And just the characters, where they went at, how it looked. It looked different than Star Wars to me. It just looked different and it felt different.
It was a genius move because the Mandalorian resembles, who everyone knows, Boba Fett.
Yes.
And it's crazy when you see how big Boba Fett became, because when you rewatch the original movies, he doesn't have a lot of screen time.
No.
But fans loved him. So right there you got, was Boba Fett a Mandalorian? Is that, or, cause
he was. Okay. Yes.
So it's
but
smart just
Boba
doing
Fett
that.
came from a clone.
Yeah, he was who
Jango
was cloned.
Fett.
Yeah, his father was the one who was cloned.
Yes. And it's a lot of them.
Yeah. And that's who all the stormtroopers were. Now, when you get into the original movies, you see they're not all cloned off of him.
Yeah.
But that was just genius to put someone that resembled him as a lead, because fans already like him. So you're already going to draw people in. And then for me, it was because I am not a fan of the newest movies. So I was skeptical. Star Wars was kind of letting me down. And then this came out and I was all in.
But remember, I asked you a question about the prequels, and I said, should I watch the prequels? He's like, you said, nah, they trash.
Well, the prequels are better than these three.
Yeah?
Yo, I thought so. I did not
For
like
real?
these
You ain't
three.
like these three?
No, I don't like them at all. The prequels are, I shouldn't have said trash if I said that. They're not horrible. And really, they got some really good fight scenes. Mm-hmm. And 1 and 3 are pretty good movies. 2, I'm not a fan of. But then when these, 7, 8, 9, I just was not a fan of any of them. I guess 9 was probably, I would say, the best one, but we're not here to talk about them.
Yeah.
But
that's another pod on how.
But The Mandalorian just really, for me, brought me right. I mean, I was kind of like, oh, Star Wars let me down. But then this came out, and I think it's episode maybe 4 or 5. It's the episode where they break the jailbreak episode. Yeah. And that episode is by far my favorite, because you just see the Mandalorian going to work, and then when they turn on him and he gets each one, that's just a good episode. That was my favorite.
And he holds no punches. Man, yo, if he have a grudge against you, you getting it.
Yep.
If he don't like you, you getting it. The episode that I really liked, when they went to that planet, I don't know what planet it was. It was a lot of planets. With the girl, remember she told him, "Oh, keep the kid here, and you can stay here."
Yeah,
I don't know what episode that was, but that was a good episode because it showed his vulnerability of being, I guess, human. Because he's just a killer. Look, he's a straight killer. Yeah. Like, he's a bounty. He kill you. Yep. He will kill you, and he doesn't care.
Basically, he's gonna kill. Like, he has to. Whoever his bounty is, he's getting. And if you're in his way, he'll kill you too.
Yeah,
so.
And it's crazy. So, like you said earlier, with him, he doesn't know about. He knows about a Jedi, but he never ran into a Jedi.
He views him as the enemy.
Yeah, he views him as an enemy. So with him, once the purge went, he went to be a bounty, and that's all he's been doing is bounties. So he's not even in the location of a Jedi.
Correct.
I don't even think he's seen a Jedi before.
No, because when they mention it, I think when they actually says the word Jedi, he sounds confused. So I don't think he knows really anything.
Yeah, because he said,
them.
"You want me to take this to the enemy?"
Yeah, because he calls him an enemy sorcerer, and then the armor says Jedi first. So I'm curious to see who exactly he's going to bring. I guess we'll call the child Baby Yoda. And I'm curious to see if they give the child a name at some point.
I know. Like, what's the child name?
I don't know. I guess he doesn't want to name him, but...
Yeah. The child look at him as the dad. Yeah. Like, he looked at him like, yo, you handling business.
Exactly. So I'm hoping he gets some kind of name.
Yeah.
Just because I'm tired of calling him Baby Yoda, honestly. It's a mystery, I guess, around. They don't have to give him a name quite yet.
And what they did with the trailers of the first season, they never showed Baby Yoda.
I still remember when that came out, and you see a Baby Yoda's head pop, because it's like, cause remember, like we said, he's going to extract him. That's and he's in like an egg, basically, and it opens up, and you know what the species. Well, you don't even know, actually, because I don't know the name of Yoda's species.
Me either.
But you know he's part of you, and you're just like, oh. And that's it. Like, you're in now.
Yeah, you're like, committed. It's a Baby Yoda out here?
And that's it. I mean, it could have been the worst episode aired on TV, but it ending like that first episode, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, but it could, and you're already hooked because you see that.
You see that, like, hold on, how is a Baby Yoda?
Genius move.
Because we never seen a Baby Yoda ever. We seen the old Yoda.
You only see Yoda, and now I still don't know if this is. I haven't rewatched in the prequels. They say they show a female.
It is,
and
her name is
it begins with a Y.
YADDLE.
Have you rewatched it? Because I've only seen the pictures on the internet. So I'm like, well, someone could have cropped that. So you have watched? Okay.
Yeah, no, I seen her. I read about her. Like, she's a Jedi too.
Yeah, I can't think of her name. It's creepy though because she's got a lot of hair and it don't look great. But I'm my biggest worry coming throughout this series. I don't know if Baby Yoda is going to make it because you think in it shows how much I don't like 7, 8, 9. I don't even know the titles.
Yeah.
But he's not in there. Doesn't mean he died.
Who?
Baby Yoda.
Yeah, but the one thing that Star Wars that I give them props of, they always make storylines.
Yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't.
So
but
that's why you never seen all of these people that's coming in the second season. You never seen them in these other movies.
Yeah.
You never seen these characters ever. It's on the cartoons and Clone Wars and Rebels.
Coming from, but I'm just worried because you would think I'm hoping they'll write it in a way where they write where he was during those last 3 movies because I don't want him to end with whenever I don't know how many seasons of Mandalorian you're going to be. They already talked of doing 3 and 4.
3 and 4. This Mandalorian is one of the best series that Star Wars ever did. And so I don't see it going anywhere.
No.
Yo, they have so many storylines that they can get to.
And I think based off of the hype from the show, I think just knowing Disney, they're going to be trying to figure out a way to turn something from that into movies.
Yeah.
Don't know when, but we'll see. What do we got? How many days till it's on?
7.
That's right around the corner.
Yeah.
You got to rewatch it.
No, 8.
Okay.
Because tomorrow is 7. Friday is 7. Yeah, I got to rewatch it on the weekend. So the second season that we know of, it will start October 30th, 2020, next Friday, and it will end December 18th, 2020. So the new characters of what we heard in the rumors, well, it's not really rumors because the Variety said that Rosario Dawson will be playing, what's the name?
Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah,
I think she's
Ahsoka.
confirmed.
Yeah, she's confirmed.
But most of the others are still, because Disney don't like to give out anything. I think she's really the only one that is confirmed.
Yeah, so Ahsoka was a Padawan of the late Anakin Skywalker. So she was under him. What I seen and what I read about her, she was nice. She was nice with it. Yep. Like she was one.
Fans will know her from the cartoon show, the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yes.
And she may be in Rebels.
Yeah, she is in Rebels. And I seen a lot of fans will dress up as her and everything else.
Yeah, I remember when I would see people dress as her before I knew who she was, and I'm like, who is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, because she's a big character in the cartoons.
Big character. So the next person that I guess was confirmed is Katie Stackhoff, and she will appear as
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan, and she was a Mandalorian warrior. She did hold the dark saber, and like me and Nick said in the beginning, that Moff Gideon now holds this lightsaber and he got it somehow. Yeah. So we don't know how he got the lightsaber, the dark saber, but she held it. And later on in the pod, we'll get into how she,
Do you know she's not the Mandalorian that was actually a Jedi, right?
No, she's not.
Okay, because I read, and I don't remember exactly, there was a Mandalorian that was part of the Jedi, and I think that's who actually created the dark saber, was a Mandalorian who was, I don't know.
And that was Tara Vizsla.
Okay.
Who created the
dark saber?
The dark saber, and that Tara Vizsla was the main person of that Death Watch.
Okay,
that's what I seen on YouTube. I don't know
because as soon as that last episode of Mandalorian came out, and you saw Moff Gideon with that, and I was like, "What is he using?" Yeah, so of course you go right to Google.
Yeah, and then you said, "Whoa!" And then you see the story of this dark saber that it looks crazy.
Yep. It's got a long story, and like Sam said, the Bo-Katan held it, but multiple different people held it throughout. So.
Throughout the years of having, this Darksaber. So another rumor, this is rumor characters, Sabine Wren, played by Sasha Banks. A lot of people saying, no, that's not true. Sabine Wren won't be in this series or season 2. She has to be in it. If you know about the Darksaber, she has to be in.
We'll find out in a few week.
In a week. She has to be in the second season. So she was a human female Mandalorian warrior and a revolutionary leader during the early rebellion against the Galactic Empire. She found the Darksaber on Dathomir, and so she gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan, who she deemed to be the right person to lead the Mandalorians against the Empire. Another rumor they said might be in the Mandalorian is Boba Fett. Boba Fett was a clone of Jango Fett, and he was a Mandalorian as well. First seen in New Hope.
Was Boba Fett was he his clone or was he his actual son? No, he made him the clone, but as a child.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So the first time you ever seen him was in New Hope.
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Well,
right?
Yes. In the order of the movies.
In the order of the movies.
You do see him as a kid in the prequels, but yes, you see him. I believe it is a New Hope.
Yeah, it was the New Hope.
Because I'm trying to think. Because then, if you remember, when they kind of remade them, they added some scenes. Because I know they gave Boba Fett some extra scenes because of how big he is. But no, it's a New Hope in Cantina. Probably you probably see him.
He was Darth Vader's right hand man to go out to get bounties for him. So he said, "Oh, go get these Jedis and everything else." He would go out and get bounties for Darth Vader. Captain Rex was also a clone of Jango Fett. And so he served as a second command to Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, he was a stormtrooper, but he was one of the lead stormtroopers.
Yes. Captain Rex is rumored to be played by Boba Fett's character.
The actor, you mean?
Yeah, the actor.
Yes.
He's playing both.
Same.
Yeah, they're all the same face. So he's been playing both. The thoughts of the second season that's coming up. Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. We're going to get stories or how that originated.
Yeah.
I think this second season is going to be big on Moff Gideon, on where he came from and, how he came up in the Empire. And also, we're going to see a lot of things about that Darksaber, because that was the main thing that they focused on that last episode, that you see him coming out of this,
Well, I hope that's what we focus on, because you could have they teased it.
Yeah.
And then you could have a season of, the Mandalorian trying to take Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And really they could have Moff Gideon kind of be in the background again. So we don't know how much we'll see, but I'm saying I hope that's what we get, because we need some answers.
The origin of the Darksaber was created by Terra Vizsla, and he was a Mandalorian and a Jedi. He was both. And so he made that Darksaber. And so the Darksaber owners, the first one was Terra Vizsla, pre-Vizsla. Darth Maul had it at one time. Kana Jaranis, Sabine Wren, Bo-Katan,
Bo-Katan, yep.
Yeah, I'm crushing her name. Sorry. And then the last one was Moff Gideon. And so here is a theory that I heard of, that I seen online. Moff Gideon needs Baby Yoda to find the Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's one, because they said they can't get someone that's older to find him. They need someone, a young person that's force sensitive, to go find the Admiral Thrawn. If you look at this, then Moff Gideon is not the leader, because he has to have someone tell him, yo, we need that child, because we need to go get him to take over the Empire or to run something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't think Moff Gideon's the leader, but he's clearly high up, obviously.
I'm saying he's the leader of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Empire on the ground.
Because there's always someone else, and I don't know if we're even going to see who that is this season.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I just assumed, and I didn't read anything. I just assumed they wanted Baby Yoda just because, he's 50, but he's a baby. They could kind of mold him into their own weapon, so to speak.
As you get into that, we have another theory that might, pop up in The Mandalorian is Star Killer. So his appearance in The Mandalorian. So Star Killer was Darth Vader's apprentice. He was a son of 2 Jedis. He was taken from his home as a child by the Dark Lord. When you see this story play out, this is what the Empire and the Sith, this is what they do. They get kids that are Force sensitive and they take them. So that's why when you see Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, how they broke them up and she went over there to hide them. They had to hide them from the dark side.
Yeah.
And so when you look at this, they might want Baby Yoda to come to the dark side and be the leader of the dark side.
That's what I always figured it was, but we don't know.
He's so strong.
Yeah.
Like he's stronger or will be stronger than Yoda.
When I saw that, I said, let's pump your brakes.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We don't know.
But you kind of figure they're going to probably make him stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But because Yoda was one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful Jedi.
Yeah. So another theory that I've seen, what's her name? Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka, what she ties into on The Mandalorian season 2 was she was Baby Yoda's teacher.
You mean she's going to be?
No, she was.
She already started, basically.
She started.
Okay.
So that's how he knows how to do certain things.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you got to figure, too, I don't know Ahsoka's age, but if he's 50, they're probably around the same age.
Yeah.
In the Clone Wars, the show, she's a teen, I believe. So
even with, what's the lady's name? Sabine Wren, she was a teenager in Rebels. She was, and now that's why they said that Sasha Banks was going to play her because they're around the same age right now because it's only 6 years from whatever time or that time didn't pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From Rebels
to
now where she'll be 25 years of age and she has the purple hair and everything else where she can get that off. She looks just like her. Like if you look at this thing, they look the same. Everybody that's playing these characters look just like the characters.
You do see Sasha Banks in the trailer.
Yeah.
And now I didn't know who Sabine was when I first saw the trailer. Now I started, and like Sam said, she does look, I can see why everyone's saying it because she does look
and some people are like, oh, they're not going to bring Sabine. You can't. You have the creator and the writer of Rebels and the Clone Wars working on this show.
And why would you not? Start tying it together. It just makes more sense.
You got to tie everything together. In Ahsoka, they saying that they're going to make a movie of her or a series with her.
Okay. See, I didn't finish watching Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I don't know where she ends up at the end of that. And now she's coming back. Now I'm really like, oh man, I wish I would have seen where, because remember, like we said, she was Anakin's Padawan.
Yes.
Obviously, Anakin turns to Vader. He goes bad. She does not. So I want to see where they break off at.
And I think she probably went. They're saying that how she broke off when Anakin went to the dark side, how she broke off was she went to another planet far, far away and then started making her own Jedi.
Okay. That makes
her
sense.
own clan of the whole Jedi. So we don't even know that. And that might be episode 10 where you have all these other Jedis. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because there's also, I don't know, again, the time frame.
Yeah.
But Luke starts to train more Jedi.
And that's when Ren kills, I guess he killed everybody and then he burnt the thing down.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because you got to figure if he's not born yet, he's got to be born soon in the Mandalorian time frame. And that means soon Luke will be starting his training. And he also got to train his sister because she gets trained.
Yeah.
She wasn't trained in the original 3 movies. So there's going to be more Jedi popping up.
Yeah.
And they can kind of do whatever they want with it.
Whatever they want with it. And maybe, like you said, Ahsoka might have been training with Luke.
Yep.
And then when you have Luke, maybe once that thing burnt down, she just left and was scared. And that's what they were scared of. They were scared of one of them turning again. And that's why Luke was like, man, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't messing with that.
I wasn't happy
he was
with
scared.
how they did Luke in the new movie.
That was corny.
Yeah, they just made him scared. And
yeah, he ain't never was scared. He was ready with everything.
And again, that's like he said, it's another story because I was not happy with how they did most of them. But going back to with Ahsoka, she's another one. It's like, okay, we don't know where she was. Now she's coming back in this show. Where was she during these last 3 movies? Mm-hmm. Now, is she one who's not going to make it, or does she kind of go into hiding again? I'm just really curious to see what they do. I don't even know in the cartoons if she ever started training anyone.
Yeah, she was training people with
But I mean, like she actually had it. Cause you know how like they get one Padawan. They all train him, but I don't know if she had a Padawan.
I think
she might have. I don't know because I haven't finished it yet. But I'm curious.
I gotta get into that.
I'm curious if she had one, and then it's where's that person? Is that person around? Or they're going to give this. Maybe she never did in the cartoons, but in the show they'll say she did. She might have someone with her.
Yeah,
I'm just excited.
Yeah, I think this season will be so crazy. I think within season 2, these characters from Rebels and Clones won't come in until episode 5.
Okay.
Because that's where the guy that made Clone Wars and Rebels, that's where he's directing and wrote in season 5.
And I don't remember the name, but I think it's Timothy Oliphant is playing, and they said his character, who again it's rumored, we don't know he's playing, was a guy who actually finds Boba Fett's armor. And I didn't even know that happened, so I'm just curious to see. Yeah,
because remember Boba Fett on that planet?
Well, we all thought he died.
And when he went down there, I think it's the same planet that the guy found.
That's what I'm guessing too.
And I guess he was a sheriff.
Yes.
So the guy was a sheriff, and he found that, and that's when I guess in season 2, Mando sees him and like, "Yo, you a Mandalorian? Like, who are you?" and whatever.
Yeah,
because I think Mando would know Boba Fett's armor because they're Mandalorians.
Yeah, you would think he would know that armor. That's iconic armor.
Yeah.
So I didn't, but I had no idea someone took. We don't even know if that's going to happen in the show. Yeah. That's a rumor, but I'm hoping it does because I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
So again, I just can't wait to see.
So what are your thoughts on episode 10 of Star Wars tying in the Mandalorian? Will he be too old to come in episode 10? Because he's about 30 right now.
So it was, what do we say? It's 25 years before episode 7.
Yeah.
I mean, something tells me.
So he'd be 55?
I don't think he will. I think at some point he's not making it through the series. When it's ending, I think he's
going to die.
Yeah, a heroic death. I think he's doing something big. So I don't think he will, but
I heard that someone in the galaxy can make them live longer than what they, their lifeline is. I don't know what that is. I still got to go and do research or whatever on who, received that. But I think throughout the galaxy, someone in the galaxy will give them everlasting life or something. So if he becomes a Jedi, right? This is just hypothetically. If, the Mandalorian, the main guy, becomes a Jedi, will that prolong his lifespan?
That's nothing I ever heard about. It could be. I mean, I do think Jedi know things that'll help with that. So possibly just almost like a healthier way of living, so to speak. But I don't know. They might. I mean, only thing we ever really seen was just different species live longer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, they can do so much, and it could be written somewhere that we just don't know about. Like they might have already talked about this because, like you said, there's books, other shows.
What if they make a time machine for him to come in?
I hope not. I can't. When time starts coming into my soul, it just hurts my head.
Yeah, that's the Avengers be killing you, man, with the time lapse and
it's
everything.
It's like, well, wait, what? Because then when you really start to think about it, Because to me, sooner or later in anything we do time travel, they mess up somewhere.
Yeah, they do.
Because they just have to. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. You can't really. So I really hope they don't.
So, season 2 is coming next Friday, October 30th.
The only bad thing is it's one episode a week.
Yeah, it's just one episode a week. So I hope, all the listeners, you go get that Disney Plus. Get your subscription if you already don't have it. And another disclaimer, we are not experts on Star Wars.
Enough. We are not.
We're just coming up with theories on, what we think, what we heard, and we're just fans of The Mandalorian.
Some of our theories that we've said could already be not possible just based on stuff we don't even know.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of people out there. I follow Star Wars Meg on YouTube. You go, look her up on YouTube. She has all these theories, and she read all the books, seen all the Star Wars, the Clone Wars and everything, the comics and everything. So she knows a lot about a lot of these characters and what their powers are and everything else. I look at a lot of other people on YouTube. Their names can't come to me, but once again, season 2, Mandalorian, this is the way.
Yeah, this is the way.
It's coming. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nick, for coming on the pod, talking about the Mandalorian.
Thank you.
With that, people, it's a wrap.
Nothing like it.
So that was episode 12, The Mandalorian, season 2. I would like to thank my guest, Nick Rossi, for stopping by the pod. And in this pod, we talked about that we are not experts of Star Wars. So I know all my Star Wars fans, Mandalorian fans, will be checking out The Mandalorian Season 2 on Friday, October 30th, 2020. So with that, people, stay safe, give respect, and show love. 1.